I gotta be honest with you, why the hell would anybody buy a 2025 Harley Davidson? Today, that's what we're gonna be focusing on as I do a little bit of comparison between the 25 and the 24 models and tell you exactly what you're paying for and what you're not getting in return for that extra premium. Now, when I say extra premium, we're talking about a lot depending on the dealer. And normally when you upgrade a motorcycle, a car, a truck, anything, you're gonna be getting the latest and greatest, but I'm gonna show you how you are just paying a higher premium just because. So, of course, I'm going to give you my opinion. I want to hear yours too. Let's go and jump right in. So I was at American Biker yesterday doing a video, and I saw that they got a 2024 Road Glide in. By the way, big thanks to American Biker for letting me come out, do my thing, share my opinion. Not affiliated with them in any kind of way, but they just let me come out and do my thing so I can give you all the best information possible. Big thanks to those guys. If you need anything, go talk to Rob. So I see this 24 Harley. It's in the billiard gray, which is the standard configuration now. Chrome, not black. And I saw the price tag on it. I'm like, dang, that's pretty good. So I walk around the bike and there's a little bit of, it looks like somebody dropped it over on its side. So you have something there on the fairing that needs to be repaired. But overall it had 11,000 miles and pretty much everything else was stock from the factory. Take that back. They had highway pegs on it, a couple little odds and ends, but mostly stock. And guess what they wanted for that motorcycle? I'm about to tell you. But when you look at a base 24, which is one of the most impressive things I believe about the new models when they came out, is the pricing. They started at 26. You can buy a freaking used Camry for that amount, so don't get me wrong, it's still a lot of money. But comparatively speaking, they actually went down in price, technically, considering everything that comes with the bikes. And you guys already know all this, right? Fully integrated LED lighting, new fairing design, new inner fairing, new saddlebags, new 117 engine. It all is included along with all the safety features they put in there as well. Ride modes, pretty much everything that you could want on a bike. I mean, it was pretty much like a Road or Street Glide ST with RDRS, but then you get all the new features and the bigger screen and everything. So it's kind of amazing for 26. Well, what happened this year is they actually bumped it up $2,000. Now, as you know, Harley didn't have a great year last year for a variety of different reasons. And I believe, and I think I made a video back in maybe January or February talking about this when they revealed the new pricing. I believe they did that because they know not only do they have an influx of 24s in dealerships, but they also have an influx of 23s. So you could make the argument that they purposefully bumped the price in the 25s in order to sell more 24s and 23s and get that inventory rolling. That makes sense to me, actually, but there's still people buying 25s and maybe realizing, maybe not, that there's brand new 24s on the lot for $2,000 cheaper or more because of incentives that dealerships are willing to give. So you're already $2,000 more. And that's assuming that a dealership is actually going to give you MSRP pricing, which ain't always the case. Just do a quick Google search and see how much the price is on a new 25 Road Glide. You're almost never gonna find them for 28 or even 30 once you add on a different paint and of course blacked out everything. God forbid you go with Whiskey Firestorm or Mystic Shift or one of those cool colors, which I admit, you know, I think the Ghost Flame thing is cool, but I've seen it up close and personal on these bikes. To me, it wouldn't make that much of a difference, nor would I ever pay an extra $3,000 for that. I would just get a regular Whiskey Fire, to be quite honest with you. But if you pay for one of those, I mean, again, that's gonna add to the premium as well. Now, if you just like those colors, totally fine. And that's kind of what this video is. It's not me telling you, oh, you shouldn't do this with your money, you should do this. But I just want you to consider all of the options. That's the point of this. If you wanna go buy a 25 with Whiskey Firestorm, Mystic Shift, whatever, you wanna spend every last dime on it and you wanna package that thing out, dude, go for it. Who am I to tell you different? I just want you to have all the facts here. And speaking of colors, to me, when you take away the $3,000 custom paint jobs of your Firestorms and your Mystic Shift, the colors in 24 were better. Whiskey Fire, color of my bike, I'm a little partial to that, but it is a fantastic color and kind of changes as light hits it a different way. Looks really sharp. Shark Fin Blue. This was like a favorite when I went out to Vegas. And most people, I can't say most, but a lot of them really liked the Shark Fin Blue color. the blue burst color. I think that's the name of it. But anyways, it was a super sharp looking blue and that Oxford white, blacked out, incredible. And out of those, I think you can get Oxford white still. I don't think the shark skin or the shark fin, whatever they called it, I don't think that one's available now in 25. So to me, you had actually better color options too. You always have the option to go with that purple abyss denim in the 25 models, which is, it's got to be right up there with ugly colors, in my opinion, along with that yellow they've been putting out on some of the models, Softail models, over the past few years. Now, comparing the 25 and the 24 models as far as what you get, your controls are going to be matte black on the 25. They're going to be gloss black on the 24. Does this make much of a difference to you? I don't know. Yes, they're a little bit of a fingerprint magnet on the 24s. If you wear gloves, you probably won't even notice, but there is a little bit of a difference there. They also talk about the lighting, how it's more integrated with less breaks in the body lines. I actually see no visual difference. It's the same 117. They both have the new water cooling system. They both have the chopped engine guards. Same identical wheels as far as I can tell. Maybe the flow in the headlights is slightly better. They're full integrated LEDs all the way around now. You have like the CVO lighting that used to exclusively come on those bikes. You have that in the rear, right, where it's more of a, it's not flush, but you have like the longer strips as opposed to like the lollipops or the updated turn signal. So all that looks incredible in my opinion. No antenna, so super clean look. But again, $2,000, at least $2,000 more. Now this bike I saw at American Biker was $22,799 or $22,999. But of course, factoring in, you're not paying Harley Davidson fees either. This is where I think they lose people. As a matter of fact, they did lose a customer, which is the whole reason this 24 got sold immediately. The guy went to Harley Davidson. And look, I'm a Harley Davidson fan. Don't get me wrong. But some of the things they do is just so bad. It's just ignorant in a way. I don't know. But their fees, right? Docking and destination and PDIs and titling, which you can't get around titling and stuff. And they will not budge on them, even though we all know there is markup on everything they do, including probably the titling might be the closest to what you actually get, but still, destination, setup, freight, PDI, certain people get paid administration fees, the tech gets paid looking at it, setting up the bike, but these things are all inflated. They make money on every single part of it, and they just refuse to back down off of those fees. Buying a used motorcycle, or even if you have a good Harley Davidson dealership, if they will work with you on those fees, so you're not paying an extra $2,000 or $2,500. I forget exactly what it comes out to be, but it's something very close to that number. There is a way they can work with it. A lot of them just simply refuse. Or you can buy it from a private seller and you don't have to worry about any of the fees, right? So, and Harley Davidson has made that super easy too, right? They have their own financing. If you find a used motorcycle, you can go through that process. Probably not the best recommendation if you want a cheaper APR, let's just be honest, but that option is available. Now, the 24s had some issues. I shared some of the issues I had with my bike. Since then, I have not had a lot of issues. Actually, I did the recall. They had the voltage regulator where they basically had to maybe move the position of it. Kind of silly. Some of the software bugs and stuff, like this one shows like 99 miles to the gallon. You know, silly little things like that. Sometimes the screen would black out, but once you have these software updates done, for the most part, from what I've seen and heard from people, they're having way better luck with these things now. There's always going to be bugs and glitches in the first year. But even if those bugs and glitches concern you, maybe you're not sold on the new fairing design. Maybe you don't like all the electronics. Or maybe you do, you just kind of find yourself more partial to the older Road Glide design. That's fair too. You go to a 23, dealers still have these on the lots, and you can't really say interest rates because these bikes are still brand new, technically. Now, I don't know how the banks view those. It actually might be different if it's like a 24 or maybe even like a 23, but they're still brand new bikes on the lot. 23s, you can get, I mentioned this, I think a couple of weeks ago. One guy at Emerald Coast Harley, 10 grand off. Boom, just like that on the ST model. You're not getting anything in return for that extra premium. And this is kind of what I believe Harley Davidson wants, is for people to actually spend less, save yourself some money by going that route so they can get them off the lots. And Well, they're actually right in this case. You will not get anything extra out of buying a 25 except maybe if you go with one of those really expensive paint jobs, or you just want to say, I have the latest and greatest, but it really does nothing for you this year at all. Save yourself some money, time, and maybe even headaches by going with one of the slightly used 24s that are now rolling out, or even some of the new 24s if they have the incentives, and especially on the 23s. But know that right now, you and me and anybody looking for a motorcycle, you are in control right now. Harley Davidson is not. Indian is not. None of them are. You're in control because they need us to kind of push through and weather this storm that they're going on with. And it's riding season too. So just because you think, oh, well, you know, now they're gonna sell more motorcycles, that's true, but you're still in control because they're trying to get rid of some of that old inventory. There you go. There's my opinion. Let me know what you think down below. Big thanks to you guys. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.